Hello, my name is David Daniel with the Centreville Press, and we're very fortunate today to be interviewing one of the citizens of Bibb County who had a personal experience and an eyewitness to the events that occurred on May the 22nd, 1973, 50 years ago, when the Brent was blown away by a tornado. And today I have with us Miss Rosie Wilkerson. She was formerly a Hill, and the Hill family experienced a lot of tragedy and loss during that event. And Rosie has agreed to come here and share some of the things she remembers about that event. So Rosie, I want to thank you for coming here. We appreciate your time, appreciate you coming here. We want the people to know what happened during that period of time, what happened to the community, and the personal events that occurred with people that were there, and how they got through it and what they thought and how it occurred. So I appreciate you coming. Please tell us a little bit about yourself, where you were born and your family. Who were your parents, may I ask?
My parents was Frisco Hill and Maggie Hill.
And where did y'all live in Brent?
We lived it over by Samo when the tornado.
Now there was a farm back in there, or an area back in there. I think there was a road that went back behind Samo.
Yes,
am I correct?
It was another family next door to us, and then all around the road it was another family.
Was your family's home destroyed?
It was completely destroyed.
Just wiped it off the earth, didn't it?
Wiped it out.
It's hard to imagine such power, isn't it? Were you there at the home when it occurred?
I was.
Well, would you tell us what that day was like? Do you remember much about the way things were done and what was going on before the tornado?
Well, during the morning time, we had been to church, and we came back.
What church did y'all go to?
Mount Pilgrim Baptist Church in Brent, up on Brent Hill.
Yes, ma'am.
And when we got back from church, we had ate dinner with Mama as usual. We all meet at Mama's house. It was about 15 of us. And after we ate, and all of us was outside during the time, and we left and come back. Well, I was married. I'm not now. And me and my boyfriend had left and went to Dairy Queen and come back. And we was sitting in the yard, and Mama and Daddy had a row of hedges bushes. That's where the car was sitting. And Daddy came outside, and they were just standing on the porch looking up. And we wasn't paying any attention to the weather because it was sunny. That day was pretty. And he went back in, and he came back out. He stood there and looked. We looking at him. But we didn't pay any attention about the weather.
So you had no idea of what was coming, did you?
We didn't have no idea what was coming. So he came there and entered the porch, and he looking around the house, and he turned around and said, "Y'all come in the house." And we were still sitting there, and he kind of got a little loud, and he said, "Y'all come in the house." And we looked, and he said, "I said, come in the house." So we got out and come in the house, and by the time we got in the house, he said, "Y'all get on the floor." We still didn't, really
understand what was going
on. And by the time we got on the floor, the house went.
So all of the children, 15 family members, were on the floor in that house.
It was 15 family members on the floor.
And one of the members that was there perished, am I correct?
Yes.
And who was that?
That was Bertha. That was the sister.
Well, it's amazing that there was that many people there. Were the others in the home injured?
No, nobody was injured, but Mama just, she took a hit to her shoulder. Other than that, everybody was fine.
That's
yeah, he came
unexplainable,
and got
isn't
going.
it?
Unexplainable.
Yeah.
And the house wasn't, I don't think anything was left but just the fireplace was sitting there.
The fireplace was the only thing remaining.
Yeah.
It was hard to grasp what that did. And we're calling the booklet, with the title we're using is "The Day That Time Stood Still," because what I'm hearing from a lot of people, and you may have experienced the same thing, it seems that it was such a traumatic event that people tended to lose their bearings of even what day it was or what time it
Yes.
was.
Yes.
And it really did seem like time stood still, didn't it?
It did. It did.
Well, we're
And
very
we
sorry
went
for your
for-
family's loss. And I know it's a miracle that no one,
Yes.
no more than that were lost.
Yes.
Because if y'all went through and lost the entire house and all of you were in the house,
And all of us in.
that's a miracle in itself that many people
It
came
took us
through
a
it.
while to get from where the house was. We went across the road to a lady named Matt Miller. We went across the road to her house. And that's where we was until we can, get out and go to my sister's house. Because she was in the house with us and she lived in the project.
Well, you really can't explain what it was like, I'm sure. But
No, not too much because it happened so fast.
how quickly did it occur? Was it? Do you have any? And I know you probably don't have any idea of the amount of time, but it was quick, wasn't it?
It was quick. It was quick. And like I say, by the time we got in the
Y'all
house,
didn't even hear it coming, I don't suppose.
well,
Did you?
Daddy heard it coming. That's when he told us to get in the house. He said he heard it coming. But we didn't hear it coming. And by the time we got in the house and he said, get down.
Rosie, with 15 youngins there, I'm sure y'all didn't hear much of nothing. No wonder he had to get louder.
Yeah, it was my sister and her husband, all of her kids. They was there.
Amazing.
Yeah. It was.
Well, can you tell us a little bit about after the house was destroyed and y'all began to get yourselves oriented a little bit? What was it like after the tornado? Were there a lot of people coming into the community trying to help people out, or was it were y'all all on your own?
We was for a while. We was all on our own because everything was all over the road and stuff, and it was hard, for them to get there because my sister, she wasn't there. One of them wasn't there. She was at church.
Yes, ma'am.
And she was on Brent Hill during the time at church. And she had to come all the way up like above the Mac Millers to get to us. And it took a while for her to get there.
Well, I think if you look at the pictures, and we've got a lot of photographs of Brent before the tornado and also damage after the tornado that we've been looking at with the different people that we've talked to. There's some of them that you can see. It appears that the path of the tornado, as it came through Brent, the lumber yard, it came across and tore up the Brent Baptist Church. Y'all were right in line with that same path, weren't you?
We was.
Yeah.
We was.
I'm amazed that you guys came out of it no worse than what you did.
Yeah. We was blessed. We was blessed. He only came and got one. We was blessed.
Well, again, we're sorry for your family's loss. We don't want the events of that day to go away and people not remember. We want people to know what happened, and there are generations coming behind us that won't know if we don't tell them. So thank you again for coming here and telling us about that. Can you tell me, for your family, what was the main change after the tornado? What was the outstanding, if anything, difference between before the tornado as opposed to after the tornado?
No, it wasn't too much different, between, with the family, because we always been a close family.
I know you have.
And still is, and too much, wasn't too much different, just trying to help each one get back on our feet, and
Well, I asked one of the gentlemen that we interviewed earlier, what would he change if he could go back and put things in the way they were before. He said, I'd put it back exactly like it was. It's a tight community. The community over there is a tight community and a blessed community. If you're a member of that community, you've got a lot of history, you've got a lot of strength in the community itself. Yes. And that's another thing that I think came out of the tornado was a sense of community, oneness that's very strong for the people that live in Brent, Alabama. I've seen it myself and I've witnessed it.
Yeah. I mean, we between the houses that was surrounded us, we was close. We was close because after Dad and them got us, to a safe place, they went back and checked on the neighbors.
Yes.
Yeah, they went back and checked on them because they lost their house.
Well, if you could go back and put anything back like it was, what would it be?
Probably everything would be the same.
You'd put it back like it was
Everything
too,
was
wouldn't
the
you?
same. And, I mean, where we was living. I liked it where we was living.
Yes.
Daddy had,
Where did you go to school?
Bibb County.
Yeah.
Daddy had his livestock and
What did your dad do?
stuff. He was a farmer.
He was a farmer. So he farmed that land there around that area?
He did.
It's not farmland anymore, is it?
No, it's not. He's not. But the store is still there.
It
though.
is, isn't it?
Yep, the store is still there.
Well, I'm wondering if you had any advice for folks that come into a community like that, what would you advise them to do?
For once, pay attention to the weather. Number one, pay attention to the weather.
Are you aware that we interviewed Mr. James Spann, and I think there's been a change in the way weather has been and weather events have been covered by the broadcast stations, because when he came to Brent, Alabama, it had a tremendous effect on James Spann. And he stood up to some of the leadership of the owners and the managers of the TV stations, and he told them, we have got to cover the weather live whenever there's weather in our area. We've got to be on the TV live so people will know, do the best we can to let them know. And I think he has probably, that decision on his part has probably saved a lot of lives, because if you know these days, whenever you know weather's coming, there's very few people that don't know that it's coming.
Yes.
Like, y'all didn't know it was coming.
We didn't know, and back then, when we was coming up, we didn't pay weather, that much
None of
attention
us
like
did.
that.
No. Well, we do different now.
Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Well, Rosa, I do appreciate you coming.
You're welcome.
Thank you for being here and giving us your time
You're welcome.
and sharing your story. And again, we are sorry for your family's loss, and we don't want people to forget. We want them to remember what it was like, and we want them to be wiser and more attentive when things like this occur. Because Alabama is a interesting place, and the South is an interesting place to live, in springs in particular, because you're going to get some tornadoes.
Yes, we are.
Have you noticed lately the ones that have come through since that time seem to follow about the same path?
Same path.
Almost the same. Like we got a railroad coming through here, isn't it?
Same path.
Well,
same path.
People be alert, especially during inclement weather in Alabama. If you're not paying attention, you're not from Alabama probably. But if you are, you're going to pay attention.
You're going to pay attention. I'll do now.
Thank you, Rosa. I thank you for coming here. God bless you.
God bless you.
Thank you.